Hey everyone, this is DW's Darius. It's been a while since I've given you a look at my fish room, so today we're going to take a full tour. What's new? I finally unlocked a bucket list fish inside of my 350-gallon aquarium, and it's my fully colored female feste cichlid. I've been trying to obtain one of these beauties for several years now, and out of 5 attempts at raising this species, this is my first female that displays the legendary colors. Her base or her casual color is orange with dull bars, but when she wants to make a statement, the bars become black and she has red highlights in her fins. If you remember, I had 2 of these feste cichlids living in this tank. I assumed that both were females, but it took me removing a larger female for this 6-inch girl to show her confidence. She shares the tank with another bucket list fish of mine, my Vieja bifasciatus, who's about 12 inches long now. He has daily disputes with my black belt cichlid, his number 1 rival in the tank, who's maybe a little bit longer in length, but the 2 are equally matched, and they will go back and forth like this all day. It never really gets out of hand. However, sometimes my female Vieja fenestratus will team up with my bifasciatus against the black belt, and sometimes you'll even see the feste cichlid try to help the black belt, mainly because the fenestratus is her rival. I have my female jaguar/dovite hybrid in here. She's actually the toughest fish in the tank, and she tries to show it every now and then, but I'm looking to rehome her because she's the biggest predator in the tank, and she's the only reason why I haven't added new fish to the tank, because she would probably eat them. I also have my Polypterus inlateri bitcher in the tank. He's cool, but he doesn't match the energy level of the tank, so I'm looking to rehome him as well. I have 4 silver dollars in here, 3 wire bars, and 1 red hook. I anticipated a nice schooling behavior, but they're actually pretty aggressive towards each other. Silver dollars do form a hierarchy, and being that I only have 4 in this tank, the aggression is more obvious. If I had more, the aggression would be dispersed more, so I have a few more growing out to join the group. Lastly, I have 2 of my oldest fish, my Raphael catfish and my African big-eye catfish. Both of these fish were members of my first aquarium ever, which was about 12 years ago, so this will likely be where they retire. I plan on adding more fish to this tank, and if we pan over to the right, I have this 125-gallon tank with young fish being prepped. I want to add the banded leporinas to the 350. I have 4 of them. If I add them now, the jaguar hybrid might eat them or kill them trying to eat them, because even though the biggest is about 7 inches long, they're pretty skinny fish. So hopefully by the end of summer I could take the jaguar out of the tank and add them along with my Rostratus cichlid, who's a sand sifter, and he should benefit the tank, as well as my Viejas inespillum. I have silver dollars in here, but it'll probably be another year before they're ready to be moved. That will leave my Vieja melanurus as the tank boss here, along with my Carpentis cichlid, my African tiger scat, and my black chin tilapia, but this is subject to change. Down below, Endonymus is gone, and in this place, I have that flower horn that I said I was going to rehome. I still plan on rehoming him, but once he's gone, the tank will be converted into my US native tank. Now if we pan back to the left, all the way over, this 20-gallon tank has 2 species of North American sunfish, the longer sunfish and an orange spot sunfish. So far both species are under 2 inches, and I'm already seeing signs of nice color and personality coming in. Once that 125-gallon tank is empty, it will be transferred there, and if everything plays out how I planned, we will eventually end up with 2 native tanks. Now what happened to Endonymus, the brother of that jaguar dovite hybrid that you saw earlier? I ended up putting him in a big tank. This is my 880-gallon plywood aquarium, home to my monster fish. including 2 monoculus peacock bass. By the way, this is another bucket list species for me. I have a male that's about 17 inches now, and the female is my oldest fish in this tank at about 8 years old. She's the second biggest fish in here at about 20 inches, possibly larger. My cichlid azul peacock bass is not too far from her size, and then we have my cichlid orinoco, which is about 18 inches long. I have 2 4-line pictus catfish that are both about a foot long, not including their whiskers. And I almost forgot, my cichlid temensis peacock bass is my biggest fish ever. I haven't measured her out of the water, but all I can say is she's over 2 feet long, possibly 30 inches or so. And then we have Endonymus, the only fish that I have that earned a name. I raised this fish by himself for most of his life, and he was always very aggressive, but he became very interactive with me. I wanted to give him the chance to live in a bigger home, so he's been with these guys for about a month. Surprisingly, he's not as aggressive as I expected. He has challenged every fish in the tank, including my big temensis, but it seems like he's content with this corner territory in the tank. His place in this tank is questionable, because even though he's not too aggressive, he's a lot less noticeable in this tank. When he had his own tank, he was one of my favorite fish because he displayed his personality constantly, so I'll give him a few more weeks in this tank, but if it doesn't feel right, I'll take him out. Lastly, I told you that I had 2 female feste cichlids. The larger of the 2 is about 10 inches long, so I added her to this tank thinking that she was safe from being seen as food, but I was wrong. They did indeed see her as food and they tried to eat her. They didn't eat her though. I added caves to the tank so she is safe, and I spot feed her so she is growing. And fish have a way of adapting to tough situations, so I'm hoping that she realizes that she's not safe being small and it triggers a growth spurt. She is able to grow over 12 inches, and she should be safe at that size to swim freely. So I'm betting that in 6 months she should be safe, and then I'll have 2 beautiful display feste cichlids. To the left I have another 125-gallon tank. I have my second Vieja bifasciatus cichlid, along with a female Vieja zonatus cichlid. Both of these fish look very beautiful, but honestly I'm not impressed with their personality, and they both can be very shy at times. That's why I added other fish to liven up the tank, like the zebra tilapia cichlid and the convicts, which of course the convicts found a way to reproduce in this tank. At this point I am willing to rehome this male, only because he won't be able to live in any of my other tanks. He would fight his brother to the death if he goes above, and he's not really fit for any of my other aquariums. If I do that, I would add the zonatus to the tank above. I would either let the zebra tilapia stay in this tank as the only fish, or if Endonymus doesn't work out in the big tank, I can bring him over here. To the left I have a 29-gallon grow-out tank, but hopefully these fish can be dispersed into bigger tanks by the end of summer. I have some blackberry silver dollars, strawberry leporinas, some Mexican tetra, and some platies. Those are all of my fish tanks in the basement. I do have 2 aquariums in the bedroom. Nothing new with these tanks, just intense plant growth from the longer summer days. I have my 40-gallon reef tank. My bubble tip anemone was taking over this tank and being very aggressive towards the corals. I created some islands to keep the corals safe. I took out most of the macroalgae from the main display, and I added a hang on the back refugium, with the same goal of eventually creating a self-sustaining reef tank. I have my 210-gallon tank. This tank gets a lot of natural light, which is great to view in person, but terrible for filming. Everyone is doing good in here, but the one fish that I'm growing out for my larger tanks is growing super slow in this tank. My Flactopus shieldus has only grown maybe an inch or so in 4 months. It's because when these fish are young, they are primarily algae eaters, and there is no algae in this tank. I'm growing a ton of terrestrial plants above, and they compete with the algae for the nutrients in the tank, so I'll probably have to take them out and put them in a different tank that better supports his dietary needs. Besides that, everyone else is doing nicely. Lastly, I have my backyard pond, which is doing great. The plants are in peak season, the waterfall is sounding amazing, and the fish are always hungry, which is a great sign. The water could be a bit clearer, but that's a simple fix whenever I get some free time. This concludes the tour of my fish tanks and my pond. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you on the next one.